Make sure we're live on all platforms. Welcome to another episode of Run the Day, the daily sports show. New webcam, so now you can see ANT in HD. I'm with my man Jack Cohen. Jack, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks, Ant, for having me on today. I'm so excited.
Hey, I'm excited too, man. Before we get into it, why don't you tell the people a little bit about what you do and who you are?
Yeah, so I'm a teen from Baltimore, Maryland, and I started doing podcasts 3 years ago with my buddy Ash. We then stopped that about a year and a half ago, and then I started my own podcast, the Jack Cohen Podcast. You can find that on YouTube, and you can also find it on Instagram with some little clips. And then I'm going to be revamping the whole Instagram page soon, so that way after every post or after every podcast, there will be some clips from there. So just keep an eye on the Instagram and the YouTube. Some fun things coming out this summer.
Yeah, man, I'll have all those in the link in the YouTube description. Jack Cohen, it's amazing to be on a show with someone so young, man. It's really impressive what you're doing, man. And
Thanks,
it's an
man.
honor to be sitting here with you. I remember when I was your age, man, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So it's cool to see someone that knows what they want to do and they're going hard at it. I feel like I was thinking about it when I was making my coffee, man. I was like, in basketball right now, there's a lot of people complaining about how, these kids are overworking and AAU is 4 or 5 times a week. You know, you're playing 6 games in a day. And that's what you're doing for broadcasting, bro, at a young age, man. You're working hard, you're working at it. So I see nothing but success in your future, man.
Thank you, man.
Of course. Today, we're going to be talking about our MVP predictions. Now, what Jack left off of the list is he's a Ravens fan too. So let's keep that in mind as he talks. You know, we're going to get the bias in there for sure. But, hey, we're all sports fans at the end of the day. You got to show love to your guys, you know. So how did you end up doing yours, Jack? Is yours a top 5 as well?
Yes, mine is a top 5, and then I have an honorable mention there, so kind of like the first off the list.
Okay. How do you want to go? You want to list our honorable mentions first, and then we can go into our 5?
Sure, we can go honorable mention for whoever wants to start, me or you, and then we can do 5, 5, 4, 4, kind of like that.
All right, let's go. I'll go with my honorable mentions first because I have 2 of them.
Okay.
My honorable mentions are Joe Burrow and CJ Stroud, man. As a Texans fan, it kind of hurts me to say that, but I think the MVP is a narrative-driven award, and I don't think that those teams are going to have enough wins next season to really do that. So those are my honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions, these are going to seem really like you're going to think, wow, these are they're definitely top 5 quarterbacks, but like you said, I don't think they're going to be narrative-driven this year. Definitely honorable mention, Jalen Hurts. And my other one, I think you kind of have to go with CJ Stroud too, because if you look at Stroud from 2023, he was great last year. He kind of fell off, but then again, who's saying that he can't have a good year again this year? So I would expect CJ Stroud to be in the conversation for the top 5, but he's not going to make it top 5.
As a Texans fan, I think obviously I want the Texans to win a lot of games. But that lack of O-line is just killer. And then for our O-line to get worse between last year and this year, it just doesn't give me a lot of hope, man. I think our receiver room is honestly one of the best in the NFL, one of the most underrated in the NFL, with Nico Collins, with Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Christian Kirk, and then Tank Dell, who's sadly injured. But without an O-line, CJ Stroud just doesn't have the time to sling the rock. And it does – it's almost frustrating. And I feel like a lot of people feel the same way with Joe Burrow. I'm not a huge Joe Burrow fan. I posted the schedule, and one of my uncles hit me up, and he was like, Joe Burrow's my MVP. And I'm like, I think when you are playing with Jamar Chase, your job is pretty easy to go put up a lot of passing yards. And if it's not correlating with wins, then I can't have you as an MVP because passing yards don't really mean nothing.
Right. And like you were saying there, the Texans, watch out for their wide receiver room. Noel, they've got lots of young guys. Higgins, Noel, the addition of Christian Kirk. Yeah. Obviously, Tank Dell's hurt, suffered the very serious knee injury late last season against the Chiefs. That's a big blow. But still, watch for the Texans to be a contender team. Not for the Super Bowl, but definitely maybe to go to the divisional round in the playoffs.
I'm going to disagree with you, though, Jack. I think we're an O-line away. The receivers are cool. But CJ Stroud, man, once that pressure hits every play. I went to the Lions game last season, and it was just it's a tough watch when your quarterback is just having 0.5 seconds to release the ball. It's kind of like how Tua is, but that's not our system, you know? So it's ugly. Hello, King FN in the YouTube chat. What's up, Angel on Instagram? Yaviz on TikTok. Shout out all you guys, man. Keep showing love. Because you said his name already, I'll just go into my number 5, unless you had anything you wanted to say.
Nope.
My number 5 was Jalen Hurts. I just think he could be the most winningest quarterback in the league next season. I don't really think he could win the award, but I think he will probably be on a lot of ballots because his team's going to win so many games, and he's a starting quarterback there. Pretty simple. I'm going. There you go. Pretty simple formula there.
Yeah, my number 5 is Patrick Mahomes, and pretty much for the same reason that you just said, Jalen Hurts. His team's going to win a lot of games, but Patrick Mahomes, 99 club, obviously Madden and real life NFL, maybe they're a bit different, but the fact that Patrick Mahomes was not in the 99 club today, not mind-boggling.
I don't think he not?
Nope, he was not. It was Lamar, Barkley, Lane Johnson, Jamar Chase, Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson. No Pat Surtain, no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Derrick Henry, surprisingly.
Bro, I wanted to record a video about that after this, like the 99 Club, but I did not see that. Damn, I didn't even clock that Mahomes was in it. That is insane.
Yeah, and I think Mahomes, he's still a great quarterback, but I don't know. I think he's going to have a down year this season. And if you look at some other guys, and I'm not going to say them in order because these guys are in my top 5, but if you look at Allen, Jackson, Burrow, Daniels, and even Hurts, Mahomes or Hurts could both go either way with that 5-6 spot, in my opinion. That was kind of like a coin flip right there. Do I leave Mahomes out? Do I put Hurts in? But Jalen Hurts, you've got Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. You've basically got the dream team built around you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's system, bro. I think and that's why that 99 Club thing is kind of throwing me off because as a quarterback, Mahomes is like the perfect quarterback. And I know people say that, but that's really what it is. He has the weakest team out of all these guys on this list.
Right.
So the receiver core, I don't know what's going to happen with Rashee Rice. I don't know if they've said that yet.
I don't believe so.
But all of that not being there, man, your wide receiver one's Xavier Worthy. He's a cool gadget guy, but that's why for me, I have Mahomes at number 4. So wait, did you say your 5 already, or did I just jump?
Yeah, I said my number 5, Pat Mahomes.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's how we're on Pat Mahomes. Yep. My number 4 is Mahomes, just because I think if the Chiefs can somehow find a way to win a lot of games next season with that receiver room, I don't see how Patrick Mahomes doesn't win MVP. And honestly, I was just in Vegas this weekend. I was talking to my uncles about what sports bets we should place on the next season, and nobody likes the Chiefs next season, and that just doesn't make sense to me. Did we forget? It took one Eagles Super Bowl for us to forget that this team doesn't die. I'm going to marching band. Have fun. Man, let's put some respect on the most dominant team over the last 10 years. I think they could have the most wins next season. They got to prove me wrong. They got to prove that they're bad for me to think they're bad, and they just haven't done that yet.
Yeah, and what you said there, I disagree with that. I think they have to prove to me that they can win, and this is going to sound bad, but you kind of have to say that the refs were a little less favoritive in the playoffs last year for the Chiefs. And we saw the real Chiefs then. Could it be a coincidence that the refs were all up with their calls favoring the Chiefs? It could be a coincidence. Do I believe it is a coincidence? No, I don't. But, again, it could be.
Listen, if the real Chiefs is a team that lost in the Super Bowl to one of the best teams we've ever seen, then you can't be mad at that,
No.
That if that's the real Chiefs, then they don't got to prove nothing. They made the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it. I think we're discounting Pat, man. I heard a lot of people say they're going to bet on the Broncos to win the division. And cool, I'm not against that or anything like that, but I just y'all playing with your money to bet against Mahomes, man. And when Tom Brady was so dominant for 20 years, it was never bet against Brady.
Right.
I think we got to have Mahomes in those same conversations because the year he won the Super Bowl, I don't remember. Was it when they beat the Eagles the first time? When Juju Smith-Schuster was his wide receiver one?
I think that was.
I think it was
Chiefs Eagles.
When Juju was your wide receiver one and you're beating the Eagles, we got to put some respects on Mahomes. I'm not ready to just start.
No.
Xavier Worthy's better than him. than
Oh,
what
yeah.
JP was.
Oh, yeah.
So, um,
My number 4, though. My number 4 is a hot take, and I don't know if they're watching. They said they would. Daniel and Josh Sullivan. This one's for you. Jaden Daniels is my number 4. And here's why. If you look at their offensive line, right side, Andrew Wiley and Sam Cosmi, I'm pretty sure. And then they probably have a top 5 center, if not top 5 and top 10 in Biadas, former Cowboy center. Then on that left side, Brandon Coleman and Nick Allegretti. That's a pretty good offensive line. And then you don't know what Scary Terry's going to do, but Brian Robinson and McNichols back there at running back. A little concerned about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe at the trade deadline they do make a swoop for a running back. Don't say never, right?
yeah.
And then that tight end room too, though. John Bates, Zach Ertz. John Bates is my Isaiah Likely this year, in my opinion. John Bates could break out this year because we've seen Zach Ertz can be injury prone. And if they're going to target Zach Ertz, like I think they're going to, 8-9 targets a game, if Ertz gets hurt, Bates is going to have to step in. And I know a lot of people are probably going to watch this and say, why? Why is Jaden Daniels over Pat Mahomes and Jalen Hurts? Because look what Jaden Daniels did as a rookie. He spent all offseason with Deebo Samuel now. Oh, yeah, and Deebo Samuel. He's put on some weight. Is he still going to be fast? We don't know. But nothing can change my mind about Jaden Daniels being number 4 on that list. He can't go higher, in my opinion. I don't think he can go above my next 3 guys, but he's got to be on there somewhere.
I agree with you on that one 100%. I think, like we talked about with – who do we talk about? Maybe with Hurts. It's a narrative-driven award, man. And people are so quick to crown the next king with Mahomes. They're so quick to crown the next guy. So if Jaden Daniels and the Commanders end up somehow winning the division or winning 12, 13, 14 games, then, yeah, we got to put him in those conversations. And that team is stacked offensively, like you just described, and defensively, man. So they're going to win games.
And their defense, I forgot to mention.
Their defense is elite, so they'll be fine. JP, yeah, it is sad about Hulk Hogan, man. We're a big wrestling account here, so show love, man. I agree with Jaden Daniels, man. That's a guy that maybe I even underrated, but he's a monster. What do you think about the Steelers? Do you think they will be good? What do you think about the Steelers? From Steelers, prods.
I don't know. I think that's a toss-up right there. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be good? Obviously, the loss of Najee Harris, that's going to hurt a little bit. But Caleb Johnson, man, he's looking pretty good, I do have to say.
Hey, Christian in the TikTok. What up, boy? Yeah, I'm not – my friends will tell you this. I'm probably the least big Aaron Rodgers fan alive. So I'm out on the Steelers, man. But, hey, maybe they could go 10-7 again, man. That's their signature performance.
I think definitely 10-7 is probably their ceiling, in my opinion, because I've pulled up the roster right here. Here's the wide receiver room. You got DK Metcalf. That's awesome. But then you fall off. You go to Calvin Austin III. You go to Calvin Austin III to Robert Woods, and then your backups are Ben Skronik, Scotty Miller, and Roman Wilson. And in the running back room, it's pretty good. Jalen Warren, Caleb Johnson, Kenneth Gainwell, and then your fourth, if you were to need him, is Trey Sermon. But I'd see them probably going 9-8, missing out on the playoffs, and then this will be Mike Tomlin's last year, in my opinion.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Now we're getting into. I like you, Jack. I like the hot takes, Jack. There we go. Hey, if you
guys want to talk.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no! I mean, I have hot takes for later.
Oh, I thought you were about to just go in on the Steelers because I know you're a big Ravens fan.
No.
So I was ready for it. If you guys want to share your hot takes, head over to our Discord server. That link is in the YouTube description down below. We talk ball in there pretty much all day. We also do a monthly trivia tournament. If you get the most questions right by the end of the month, you win a $25 Amazon gift card. Shout out all our Discord guys. Your 4 was Jaden Daniels. Okay, my number 3, this is where I had Josh Allen. Me personally, right, and this might get some heat, but I just think Josh Allen's MVP was kind of like a here damn award. Like they were like, Lamar Jackson should have won it. Lamar Jackson
Yes.
outperformed him extremely. It was the first time I ever seen an MVP win the award because everyone was like, "Oh, he has no teammates. He has no," when he clearly has a good team around him. I don't understand this Josh Allen like blind love. I don't know if people just want to knock Lamar because he's a dog, but Josh Allen's at number 3 for me. I'm not obviously Josh Allen is going to have the counting stats. Don't get me wrong, and his receiver room is weak, so it looks like he's like playing with bums or whatever. But that's just not football, man. His defense is elite. His O line is very good, and James Cook was a monster and the perfect running back to have next to him. I'm not here to shit on Josh Allen or nothing like that. Sorry for cussing, Jack. I'm not here to knock down Josh Allen or nothing like that. But I saw too much last season where it was like so pushed that Josh Allen was the MVP, even though Lamar clearly was the better player last season.
Yeah, my number 3. I'm going to reveal it in a minute. I do want to touch back on the Steelers, though. Steelers prod, you can get in the chat for this one. But I've seen way too many people on Instagram saying that the Steelers have a better defense than the Baltimore Ravens. I will have a 20-minute argument with anybody who wants to come into my DMs and say that the Steelers have a better defense than the Baltimore Ravens. This is the Steelers' secondary. You have Darius Slay, Deshaun Elliott, former Raven, by the way, Juan Thornhill, Joey Porter Jr., Jalen Ramsey. Going back into the backups, another former Raven, Chuck Clark, Miles Killebrew, James Pierre, Beanie Bishop. And then you go to pull up the Ravens.
Hey, they need me and you out there.
You see stars all in that secondary. You see a guy here. I'm pulling it up right now. Your corners, Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Jair Alexander. Your backups aren't even that bad. Chidobe Awuzie, okay, maybe. But your safeties, when Ardarius Washington is healthy, you have Ardarius Washington, Malachi Starks, Kyle Hamilton, most underrated player in the league, in my opinion. And then you've got 2 second-year guys in Sanusi Kane and Bo Braid. You've got Sanusi Kane, who was really good last year on special teams. Bo Braid, undrafted free agent from University of Maryland. Go Terps. But if anybody wants to have an argument with me, Steelers over Ravens on defense, I'm open. Number 3, going back to the real top. Sorry about that.
Wait, really quick.
Go ahead.
Chat, quick comment. Steelers defense or Ravens defense? Let's see what they're saying. And JP, shout out John Wick, man. Elite franchise. Now let's hear your number 3, Jack.
My number 3 is Josh Allen. I'm agreeing with you on that one because my next 2 guys, I'm pretty sure we have the same 2 guys, and I'm pretty sure in the same order. Because Josh Allen doesn't have Rasheed Shakir and Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman is going to fall off this year. I would be surprised if he gets 900 receiving yards.
TikTok. My bad. But shout out, we got our first TikTok donations ever. Shout out Shano66, man. I really appreciate that, man. That's much love, for real. You don't have to do that. Thank you, Jack. My bad.
No, you're good. Steelers pride. Do you want to type a little bit of why you say the Steelers defense? I gave my reasoning to why the Ravens defense. And then I'll finish my take on Josh Allen. Like you said last year, Josh Allen did not deserve it. It was because it was a toss-up award in 23 where, let's be honest, Joe Burrow kind of deserved it in 23. If any, really nobody was deserved. No, Burrow was deserving of it last year. I would have put Burrow over Allen last year. If we're going to take Lamar out of the conversation, let's go with stats, please. Let's go with Joe Burrow. If we're not going to give it to the one who deserved it last year and Lamar Jackson, give it to Joe Burrow. But I think, like you said, it was one of those things where it was a toss-up award in 23. So then they felt bad for Allen that he hadn't gotten one. So they gave it to Allen last year when Lamar really deserved it. And do I hate that? I'm not mad that Lamar went 1-1 in 23 and 24 with MVP. I would have just rather seen Allen get it in 23 and Lamar get it when he deserves it, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not the biggest dude. Shano. Relax. Thank you, man. I think, I don't know what that even is, but they donate game controller on TikTok. I don't know how the TikTok donations work, honestly.
Here, let me hop on the TikTok stream. I do have to pull that up.
I don't know what that is. They're not even typing in the chat. They're just showing love, man. That's it, man. Quick show love to Shano, man. Shano is the new go. Shano, hop on YouTube, join the Discord server. Let's talk in the Discord chat, man. Get lit with me. While we wait on Steelers Productions, if you still want to go in, I'll talk about my number two. And my number two is Lamar Jackson, man. I just think he always got to be in those conversations as, like, to me, he's the best player in football right now, the most impactful player in football, the most versatile player in football. And I think the Ravens are obviously going to have another good year. Now, I do think, and I don't know, maybe this is kind of crazy to say, but I do think Derrick Henry might take a little bit of a dip next year. But I feel like people have been saying that the last 10 years, the last 5 years, the last 3 years, and he hasn't. But it's just tough to keep that efficiency up for as long as he has been. And maybe he's built different, so maybe he'd be different. But Lamar Jackson's my number two.
Yeah, I do want to touch on what Steelers Production said, and I will read it out loud for who's in the TikTok. Oh, you put it up there. Perfect.
It blocked your face, though.
Yeah, so I agree with you fully right there, Steelers Productions. You do have Joey, you have Deshaun Elliott, Jack Sawyer, TJ Watt, Cam. But you got to look at the Ravens defense, too. You got Nnamdi Madubuike coming off that left side for defensive end. Then the right side, you've got Roderick Washington, who last year I'm pretty sure had 5.5 sacks. He was hurt most of the year, so see what he can do in a full year. Kyle Van Noy, Tavius Robinson, dogs. And any Steelers fans that want to talk to me about Tavius Robinson can go watch tape of Tavius Robinson in AFC North divisional games. Don't talk to me until you see them. And then the linebackers. Teddy Buchanan, that was a steal out of UCLA. I'm pretty sure it was UCLA or Cal, one of the two.
Cali.
Roquan Smith, Trenton Simpson. Trenton Simpson's going to have a big year, man. I don't know what's telling me this after last year, but he's going to have a big year, man. And then Odafe Owe and Mike Green and Adisa Isaac coming off the line. And yes, TJ Watt probably is like, you got to probably put Mike Green and Adisa Isaac together to make TJ Watt. But still, you don't know where they're going to come from. I just named 5 guys who can sack you on any play. And then in the secondary, Nate Wiggins, dog. Kyle Hamilton, dog. Malachi Starks, dog. Jair Alexander, dog. Marlon Humphrey, Robert Longerbeam. I don't even know how somebody can argue that the Ravens don't have the best defense in the AFC North. God, I don't even know how they can argue that the Ravens don't have the best defense in the whole league. They're stacked. And then getting into my number 2, Joe Burrow. It's got to be Joe Burrow. I think last year, if you're going to count it, like I already said, if you're going to count out Lamar, Burrow deserved it more than Allen. This is a make-or-break year for Burrow. He needs to stay healthy. Obviously, the defense was the issue last year. They were falling apart like soggy Cheerios. But you've got T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Yes, the running back room is an issue. You have Andre Yosevas there at your 3. The tight ends, I feel like they're always coming and going. But this is the year for the Bengals. Make break.
I think you may have forgot that Joe Burrow was on my honorable mentions. So my next guy's different than what you got. But I just not a big Joe Burrow fan because I don't think that team is going to win. And I think you got to win to be the MVP. That's why I don't really care about like counting stats and stuff like that as far as the MVP award goes. Right. Because in football, like really, you could use counting stats to prove any narrative. And I don't think that's –
yeah.
I think the wins are what matters the most. I think if I'm being honest, if there's an MVP from that team, it's Jamar Chase because Jamar Chase is a monster, man. But Joe Burrow for me is a guy that I feel like people kind of think that, hey, what's up, Jeff? How you doing, man? I think, and then we got some coins from Jeff too, man. Y'all are showing love today, man. I really appreciate you guys. It's much love.
Before you hop into your 1, I do want to add something about Joe Burrow. So this is when people get confused, and it's started to happen in all sports. MVP does not stand for best player. It stands for most valuable. You take that player out, they're irreplaceable.
Yeah.
So I think people just have to remember that when they say, oh, well, yeah, Josh Allen deserves the award from last year. You could put in my opinion, you could put any quarterback in that room with those guys.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I think I'm going a little too overboard. But Josh Allen if Josh Allen had, if Josh Allen had better receivers, dude, he would be number one. I think the Bills struggle to build a team around Allen. And I think you kind of have to go look at what EDC Eric DeCosta is doing with the Ravens right now. You're building a team around Lamar Jackson. But hop into your number one. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. I'll say this too on top of that. The narratives that Lamar Jackson is a bad playoff player are some of the worst narratives in football, right? I think Lamar Jackson is a better playoff player than Josh Allen. I'll go that far. But for me personally, I think, and this happened in 2017 in basketball. This is the expression I would go with when I'm talking about Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. You put Josh Allen on a bad team, and he'll make them a good team. If you put Lamar Jackson on a good team, he can make them an elite team. And I don't know if Josh Allen could go that far. Where I feel like Josh Allen, it's a lot of like, you got to play through Josh Allen. And at a certain point, that's hard to win a Super Bowl when that's your quarterback's MO. And not like saying that's more on the Bills, but yeah, that's just how I feel on it. I don't know if y'all talked about it yet, but the Pats grabbing Diggs here comes the decent year. Oh, man, you should see the videos of Stephon Diggs on that yacht, man. You'll be scared. You'll be scared for sure. We got a response to the Ravens defense conversation with Steelers Productions. Do you want me to read it to you, Jack, like I'm arguing with you?
Sure.
Okay. I'm Steelers Productions.
Okay.
I will say that the Ravens D is better, but I will say we have a talented D and just in general a good team. But I will say that I think the Steelers will go 11-5 or 12-4. Aaron has options at wide receiver and tight end, like Calvin Austin, who's a dog. Ooh.
I do have to disagree.
Sorry, Shado. Y'all are showing so much love right now, man. Look at my new cam too. Watch this.
Ooh.
What it do, baby? Come on.
I do have to disagree with Steelers pride right there on that last part. The Steelers are not going anywhere above 10-7. Their defense, yes, maybe the defense is definitely strong. I'm not knocking the Steelers defense saying that you guys have a bad defense. You guys are right there behind the Ravens. But I'm just saying that the Ravens defense is better and probably one of the best we've seen since 2000, where the iconic quote, defenses win championships, came from. You had Trent Dilfer, who if you weren't a diehard Ravens fan or alive in 2000, you might be saying, who? But I think Steelers pride, you do have to realize that this Steelers team was put together really poorly. It was just, Aaron Rodgers is available. Let's bring him in.
They were waiting on Rodgers all offseason, so they didn't do nothing.
Exactly. They didn't build a team around him because they weren't sure that Rodgers was going to come in. So now you've got Calvin Austin. Yes, you do have DK Metcalf, but DK Metcalf can't catch every pass. Like, he can't be targeted every pass. Calvin Austin, yes, he's going to be good, but is he going to go for 700, 800 receiving yards? I don't think so.
I do think the Steelers had a great draft. I do also like them getting Jonnu Smith. Yes. But I'm with you 100%. Right now, the Steelers are plus 500 to win their division, which that's tough, man. I would not take that. But their over-under is 8.5 wins, which
I would take the over. I would take the over.
Yeah.
They're going to get 9 or 10. I would take the over.
It's so tough. I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't touch it. I would probably stay away.
I wouldn't put money on it, but yeah, no.
Oh, Steelers prod. Now you're talking my language, man. I was a huge Roman Wilson fan going into the draft last year, and then he got hurt. If he comes back, I agree. If he looks like a dog, then I'll switch how I feel about Aaron Rodgers, man. That'll be a bit. Shano, shout out to you, man. And thank you, Jeff, again for the love and the
So who is your number one here? I've been kind of racking my brain. Who haven't you mentioned?
I want you to say your number one first, and we'll end it with my number one.
All right. Mine's going to be a lengthy
Go ahead. Let it fly.
So
I know who it is.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm a Ravens fan, but this is no bias at all. Last year, I did not have Lamar Jackson in my top. I did not have Lamar Jackson as my number one. I had Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen.
Okay.
So, I'm not that biased, but I think Lamar Jackson wins it again this year. 3-peat. Because and I also want to say this. John Harbaugh, if John Harbaugh does not get the Ravens to the Super Bowl this year, he's gone. He is gone. And I have a little respect left for him, but He's had teams, man. He cannot control the clock. But if you don't win a Super, I'm not going to say the extent of win. I'm going to say if you don't get to the Super Bowl with this team, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins. I know he's not in his prime anymore. The best tight end duo in the league, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Fullback of Pat Ricard. The offensive line, Ronnie Stanley, Rosengarten on the sides. Rosengarten was awesome last year. Falalele, Voorhees, Cleveland, Emory Jones, Nick Samak, possibly in the role somewhere there. Second best center in the league behind Creed Humphrey, Tyler Linderbaum. And then even if the offense is having an off game, I'm not going to repeat the names on the defense because I feel like I've said the names like 3 times now. But the defense is going to pick up the offense. So Lamar Jackson's my MVP. And like I said, here's another hot take. This is the one I was talking about earlier. If the Ravens don't make it to the Super Bowl, John Harbaugh's gone. And I also want to add on to what you said about Lamar's playoff record. 2023, Zay Flowers fumble. Zay Flowers taunting penalty. Last year, Mark Andrews dropped 2-point conversion. There was snow. It was cold. It was slippery.
That was so sad. That hurt
Mark
my
Andrews fumbled in open field. Not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson put those passes in. Like, could the 2-point conversion have been a better play call? Yes, that's not Lamar Jackson. That's not Lamar Jackson.
Even that, it was a great play call. Mark Andrews just.
I think it was. He just slipped, man. Or slid and just didn't do it right. I don't know.
Hey, Shayno, once again, man, more just you keep letting them fly, bro, and you're showing love, and I appreciate it. And honestly, this one's the best name. He sent us a tiny Diney, which is a little dinosaur, which that's pretty cool. I'm not. Listen, I'm an old head, man. I don't know these all these TikTok things are cool, man. Thanks for the tiny Diney. Yeah, man, I'm always gonna show love to Lamar Jackson, man. That's my go. That's my go. The reason that hurt so much is my dad is a major Josh Allen fan. And me and him were sitting on the couch watching that game, and we were just yapping the whole time to each other. And then when Mark Andrews drops that, he's like, see? And I'm like, see what? It was on the money, So you gotta show love. But are you ready for my number one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me take advantage of my new camera real quick, right? Because I think I could stand up. Okay. Let's stand up for this one. How am I sounding, Jack? Are we sounding good?
Yes.
Chat, we sounded good. Come on. At number one, my number one pick for MVP next season. It's simple. Okay? It's simple. He said he's sweeping the Ravens in the
Whoa.
We'll save that for a second. Let me go. We'll save that for a second. The guy that's going to win MVP next year that we forgot about, you didn't forget. Jaden Daniels is my MVP next season. We have seen Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes win MVP in their second season. The NFL's quick to crown a new king. Jaden Daniels is that next guy up. So you got to show love to Jaden Daniels. I expect them to make a huge jump. And like we said, man, Jaden Daniels is not the best player in the NFL. But the MVP is a narrative-driven award. And that team, if that team wins the division, which I think they're gonna, which we'll talk about tomorrow if you guys want to hear my full reasons why, Jaden Daniels is going to win MVP. Book it. Put all your money on it, man. Cash out. Sophomore MVPs. It's simple. He's going to get one before Joe Burrow, and I will be having a great time.
I thought putting Jaden Daniels at 4 was going to get me a lot of flack, man. But, dude, that one is crazy. But it could happen. And I do want to touch on Steelers proud. You guys are not sweeping the Ravens. We're going to go 1-1 like we always do. Don't even talk to me about this doing now. 12-4, 11-5. There are 17 games now. You do have to remember that. Will Howard will not be great next year. Will Howard's going to be great in 4 to 5 years if he ever gets great. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. The fact that we are comparing Will Howard, a guy who won't even start this year, to Josh Allen, a guy who won the MVP last year. Well, a guy who's in MVP conversations almost every year. Give Will Howard some time and maybe, but I don't know. I think it's too early for that.
I agree. I don't think Will Howard's that good at football, if I'm being honest. He's obviously good at football, but he's not NFL good at football. Man, yeah, that's how I feel about Jaden Daniels, man. I'm ready for the Jaden Daniels breakout to happen. I think they could make a real playoff run next year if last year didn't count as a real playoff run. I'm all in on the Commanders.
Yeah, and some guys who names were not mentioned but could always be found there. I think you did mention him a little bit. Jamar Chase, could always find his name there. Saquon Barkley, Jared Goff,
I like that.
They normally put a running back and wide receiver into conversations. It never really happens. But my sleeper pick, who I wouldn't be like, people are going to hear this and say, like, what the heck? My sleeper pick right now. Give it a drum roll. Give it a drum roll.
Oh,
My
wait.
sleeper pick.
Do I get a drum on this? Okay. I'll
My
give you
sleeper
this.
pick
Hey,
for any. Okay.
wait. Listen to this. Listen to this. Go ahead.
My sleeper pick for 2025 to 2026 NFL MVP is the one, the only, Baker Mayfield.
Hey, build with Bake, baby.
Baker Mayfield could find his way into that top 5 easily. The Bucs are always a team, well, not always, but normally a team who finds himself in playoff contentions. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, are they playing this year? Not sure. Bucky Irving. Dog. Bucky Irving, man, he might carry that team this year.
Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. Bucky Irving is going to pick up 1,400 rushing yards this year.
Whoa. That's a lot of yards. You know, I think I get scared off of Bucks running backs because every year they draft a guy or they have a running back that's a dog, and then the next year they just replace him with another running back. You know, so it might, like, I don't know if that's going to happen again. I don't think they have anyone in that position. But if I were to go sleeper, like Baker Mayfield level sleeper, I would keep it in the division, and I'll go Bryce Young, man. Let's go.
Ooh.
Bryce Young, man. If the Panthers can win that division and like a dominant fashion, they win 12 games. You know that division's like none of those teams ever win more than 11. You know, if Bryce Young wins 12, 13 games, then they can make the playoffs. I think Bryce Young, and I also think if we want to do the same thing in that division, we could do it with Michael Penix too. Because if Michael Penix,
yeah, Penix was right there. I was trying to decide: do I go Baker? Or do I go Penix? Because Michael Penix, man, he could have a year. Bijan Robinson. It's not Bijan. He said in an interview it is Bijan. Bijan Robinson, Drake London. Do not draft Drake London, though. Do not draft him in fantasy.
Why?
Drake London and Kyle Pitts are guys who you never want to draft.
I like Drake London.
I mean, well, no. I take that back. Drake London, yes, you do draft, but Kyle Pitts do not draft. People have been saying, oh, yeah, this is Kyle Pitts' year now. This will be the 5th year now.
What do you think about this take?
My hot take is oh. Ooh.
What's up, Zach? In the Instagram chat.
Can I send a picture of this to somebody real quick? I want to see what he thinks about it.
Send a pic?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to a group chat of the.
Go ahead. Send it away. Ravens D will not be top 5 because of injuries. Steelers prods. Okay, so I think it was last week. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. We had a very similar thing happen in this YouTube chat where we were doing Western Conference standings in basketball, and we had a Spurs fan who was doing this. So now I'm learning Spurs fans and Steelers fans are some of the biggest trolls in sports.
Yes, 100%.
Hey, Amadis, how's it going, brother? Keep hooping, man.
I'm going to read that one out loud again. My hot take is that the Ravens D will not be top 5 because of injury status from Steelers prod. No. Marlon Humphrey, if he gets injured, it's a 1 week or 2 week thing. But Marlon Humphrey, if you look at the depth chart, pulling it back up.
Nate Wiggins.
Yeah, exactly. Nate Wiggins. Because how often, and also, Bo Braid can play a little bit of corner. Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, Jair Alexander, and Marlon Humphrey are your starters. Robert Longerbeam out of Rutgers could replace somebody. TJ Tampa as well. Bo Braid, Sanusi Kane, Bilal Cone, Jalen Armour-Davis, dog. Ardarius Washington is going to be back later in the year. So even if there are injuries, you replace them. And I don't expect Rasul Douglas to be signed by any team. So if there were to be a long injury to Marlowe or Jair Alexander, Eric DeCosta is not afraid to go sign older cornerbacks. Rasul Douglas.
There you go.
I got a response on that. Oh, here we go. He said, oh my God. Oh, I can't read that word out loud. Oh my gosh, what a hot take. A defense with the best players isn't the best when the players are there. What a shocker. Hold on. I'm telling him to join the stream. Join the stream on YouTube.
Come on, man. Steelers Productions with the hot takes in the chat. Steelers Productions, you got any hot takes that don't involve the Steelers or the Ravens? And chat, if you guys are on Instagram or TikTok, let us know if you got any hot takes as well. We're talking crazy. I like the Stephon Diggs shout earlier, former Texan legend. And I love the Tiny Diny too. I'm going to keep saying that because I think that's so funny. Also, comment your top 5 for MVP voting as well. Again, let me go through what we got the rest of the week really quick. If you guys don't follow us on Instagram, make sure you guys join the Discord. I'm going to keep saying join the Discord because the Discord, honestly, is a good time. I love doing the trivia every day. Now, we're probably going to take a little break because we had to just run through trivia this month, and then we got trivia starting again next month. And then, again, if you're in there and you know ball, you know baseball, basketball, football, you can win $25 just by responding to a Discord message, man. It's really that simple. Let me pull up our schedule on here.
He's my friend's mid Madden run right now. You care if I call him? He said he can't join the YouTube.
I can't call him, man. No calls. No callers on air. No callers on air. Once again, today we just covered our MVP predictions. Tomorrow we're going to be doing NFC division winners. On Wednesday, I'll be giving you guys my Western Conference standings with Phil. Tomorrow's going to be with my boy Zach, special guest, Big Dog. On Thursday, we have a special start time at 3 p.m. Eastern because we're going to be going and watching the MLB trade deadline live on the air. And then Friday, we got a content creator, Jeopardy. So we got a lot of bangers for you guys this week. Jack, please plug anything you want to plug.
I don't know, man. Thanks for having me today. This was a lot of fun. I hope to come back in the future. Hey, if you guys can hop on, I won't be here, not that I know of, on Thursday, but if you guys can hop on at 3:00, this trade deadline is going to be special, man. This trade deadline is going to be a fun one. So don't plan anything for Thursday. Watch here. I suggest watching here. And I know I'll probably be in the chat giving some of my opinions. I'm a huge baseball guy.
I know. I'm excited, man.
Dude, that's my favorite day of the year, MLB trade deadline, besides Christmas, Easter, Halloween, stuff like that. But, hey, let's go, O's. I know we suck, but, hey, let's go. Thanks again, Ant, for having me.
Shout out your Instagrams one more time, man. Let's.
So my Instagram's my personal page, which I will approve any follow requests that I get. Jack_Cohen here. I will put it in the chat. I think they can see it if I were to put it here, right? Oh, no, I can't.
I'll put it. I'm pretty sure that.
I'll let Ant put it in the chat.
Jack_Cohen.
22. Yep. Jack_Cohen 22. And then my other one, let me just make sure I have it right. Make sure there aren't any little underscores or anything. I don't think there are for the podcast page. No, it is all lowercase, the Jack Cohen Podcast. Go check it out on Instagram and YouTube. New episode, I believe, dropping tomorrow with former MLB pitcher Richard Blyer.
Wow.
So that was a fun one, man, to film. As an Orioles fan, that was fun just kind of hearing what he's doing now since he retired from baseball. So if you guys have a minute to go check it out. Also, Chiefs offensive lineman Wanya Morris came on the pod. Nice. Red Sox minor league pitcher Matt Duffy. So, hey, go check it out if anybody has a minute and wants to watch some good sports talk. So,
hey, I'm telling you guys, man, this kid is doing some special stuff, man. For a youngin to be working this hard, man, shout out Jack Cohen, man, the next big thing in sports media. Thank you for being here tomorrow. Steelers. Go Steelers, man.
Hey, I'm a Ravens fan, but, man, this was a lot of fun because of you, Steelers Prod. That was just go back and forth. That was just nice because I don't think it ever got rude. I think it was all factual based too, which those are the best arguments. If you've got to bring out some curse words, that's when arguments are lost.
Hey, I'll bring out the curse words, but not for the argument, just for the love of the game, man. Right. And I've been Ant. This is Jack Cohen. I appreciate you guys for showing love. That's the fun of the live stream, being able to argue with the chat, talk to the chat, get the chat reactions. I'm Ant.